Alright folks, I moved my screen so my my thing's off. Sorry about that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a hard puzzle today. Let's see what we have got going on, if I can get my monitor there. Okay, let's see what we've got. This is kind of an interesting layout up here. I have an 8 across the top, 8 through the right, so there's only one thing here. And then do we have something that does that too? We have a 1. Just kind of looking at the rotation here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We have a 2 and a 2 and a 2. So there's the only spot for a 2. Now in the center we have a 2 across the top, 2 across the middle, 2 through the center, 2 through the left. Only spot for a 2 goes there. 2 across the top and the middle, and 2 up the right. Only spot for a 2 there, 2 down the center, the right, and the middle. That is all of our 2s. Let's see what else we have here. We see a pair of 8s. Only spot left for an 8 goes here. We have a pair of 8s going to the right, and this 8 here helps us. Only one spot for the 8 here. Okay, down here we're going to have 2 spots for 8s, which is okay, but we have an 8 down the center and the right, and then through the middle, so that actually will help us sort that one out. Okay, so that's all of the 8s for the puzzle. I see a pair of 4s, so we know we're going to have a 4 here somewhere. Let's see, 2, 6, and 8. 2, 6, and 8. Okay, we already have that here. Alright, I've got 2 1s, so I know my 1 has to go somewhere in here. A pair of 3s, so my 3 has to go up here. Okay. Let's see, I've got a 7 and a 7, so a 7 can't go here and a 7 can't go here. So that means a 7 has to go here. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then our 9. Okay, we have a 9 here and a 9 here. Makes this our 9. Okay, so that makes one of these 2 our 9. Okay. We've got 3 numbers missing here in this column. It can't be a 1 up here, so that means one of these 2 has to be a 1. 2, 3, 4. Need a 5, can go anywhere. We need a 6 that can't go here. So it goes either here or here. Okay. See what else we have. Okay, we do have a 7 and a 7, so that we know our 7 for this cube has to go here. Okay, we know we have to have a 6 here. So this creates a little bit of a ghost row over here. So no 6 across the top, no 6 across the bottom. So our 6 has to go here. Okay, so we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we need a 9. And the 9 can't be in the left, and it can't be through the middle. So it's going to be one of these 3. Let's just put those in there. This one, or that one. Okay, alright. So we do have a 7 and a 6 over here in this cube. Let's take a look at that one. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, a 3. Any help on the 4s? No. Any help on the 5s? Not tremendously. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're missing a 5 and a 4. Okay. Alright, so we have a 3, 6, and a 7, and a 1. Okay, so this has to be a 1, or this has to be a 1. Okay, down here, one of these two has to be 1 because it can't be here. 1, 2. Okay, and then we want a 3. Okay, now we do have a 3 that goes through here, so this has to be, one of these two has to be a 3. So, okay, so we now have a double lock. Now this, folks, right here, if you've ever got a row, a cell, or a cube where there's only 2 cells and they have to be, see, here's a 9 and a 3, and here's a 9 and one of these two is a 3. That means even though I can't, what's the other number? We're missing a 5. Okay, right? So a 5. So see how it can't be a 5 here, but it could be a 5 here, but it can't because these two cells are double locked. If this is a 3, this is a 9. If this is a 3, this is a 9. They cannot be anywhere else, and that's what's going to actually help us solve this cube, because if a 5 can't go here, this is actually the only place that a 5 can actually go. That gives us our 1. That makes this one our 1, makes this one our 6. So double locking is a very important technique in hards and very hard puzzles that if you have a good hold on that, that will help you just like that, where it doesn't appear to have an elimination, but can't be anything else other than those two numbers. So anytime you can get a double lock, that is great. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we were holding on, because see, one of these two is going to be a 5, and then we still have one of these is going to be a 4. So we have a 5 and a 4 still up here. 1, 2, 3. We're not sure on the. Okay, 4 can't be here. 5. Okay. 6 can't be here. 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I have a 1. I have a 2. I'm looking at this row here. We have a 3. I need a 4. And it can be everywhere but here. 4, 4, 4. Okay, I need a 5, and that can be everywhere. That's no help. I need a 6, and that can't be here, and it can't be here. Okay. Okay, cool, cool. So we have something else now. I have a 6 here and a 6 here. So in here, this left one of these two have to be a 6. There's something called a crisscross pattern, crisscross elimination, if you will. In the center cube, I need a 6. Now up here in this top cube, you see I've got this 6 and this 6, so it has to be left or right. So these two, and then because down in this bottom cell we have that same pattern, because of these two 6s, it has to be in these two cells. Now they don't have to be apart, they could be next to each other, but what happens is it creates a crisscross pattern. So if this is a 6, well then it can't be here, that makes this one a 6. But if this one is a 6, then it crisscrosses and this has to become a 6. So it can be any number, but if it lines up in the rows or the columns, they can be apart, they can be together, doesn't matter. But if they're in the same ones, then in the center cube, like see this spot right here and this spot right here, I have no way of eliminating the 6. But this crisscross pattern says that the left lane, one of these two has to be a 6, and in the right lane, one of these two has to be a 6. So no matter how we cut it, kind of like that double lock, I cannot have a 6 here or a 6 here, because if I eliminate the 6s on one of these sides, both of these on the left can't be 6s, or it'll break the requirement for solving the puzzle. So in the center one, these are the only two cells that are left. So this crisscross pattern is in the hards and the very hards all the time, very well known. Okay, so we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 3, we've got a 4. 5 cannot be here, and 5 cannot be here. So look at this, folks. We now have another double lock. Okay, this 5 and 6 have to be there. Okay, so now we know this one could be a 1, or this one could be a 1. These two cannot be 1s. And the other number that we're missing is a 7. So even though the 7 comes across and we think one of these two could be a 7, this one can no longer be a 7 because it's locked. It has to be a 5 or a 6. So that makes that our 7. That makes that our 1. Okay, and that helps us out. So I'm going to clean up my pencil mark here. No 1 there. Okay. because we have the 1 here. Okay, we still have 2 1s there. Okay, I see a 1 here across the top. I see a 1 down here on the left, so the only spot for a 1 here. And then I have a 1 across the bottom, 1 across the top, 1 down the left, so that makes this one our 1 for this cube. Makes this one our 6. Okay, and this one here was either a 6 or a 7, but it cannot be a 6 anymore, so that becomes our 7. That becomes our 3. Now, if this is a 3 or a 9, but it can't be a 3, it has to be our 9, which makes this one our 1, which makes this one our 4, which makes this one our 6, only number left. Okay, we're just going to cascade that. Our 7 now is resolved for us. So the 2 numbers we were missing over here was a 4 and a 5, and that also matches with this one here because these 2 are missing a 4 and a 5 as well. Okay, so just so I don't forget, let's jot those guys in. There we go. We just have 1 number missing here. Looks like a 9. We'll jot that feller in there so we get that. So we have a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have a 4, but it can't be here. Okay, so now we have a 4 here, and we have a ghost row, ghost column 4 over here, and we have a 4 in the middle. So the center cube, 4 has to be here or here. Okay, and then we need a 5. Now 5 can be any one of these, and then we've got a 6, and then we need a 7. Okay, so the 7 comes across, and so the 7 has to be in one of these 2. Okay, so we have 3 numbers missing if we look in this column, and there's a 7. So 7 has to go one of these 2. So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we need a 5, and a 5 can be in any of those. 6, we've got our 7, 8, and then we need a 9. Okay, so this says it can't be a 9 here, and this says it can't be a 9 here, so our 9 has to go here. Okay, so that now tells us that these 2 cells are double locked as a 5 and a 7. Those have to be to complete this column. And then I think a 5 could go here too, right? I just didn't jot that in. Let me put that in there so that I don't mess myself up. Okay. Alright. This one has 3 numbers missing. Let's take a look at that one. 1, 2. Okay, we need a 3. Now a 3 could go any one of those spots. We have a 4, we have a 5, we have a 6. Okay, we need a 7. And it looks like a 7 can go any of those spots. And then we have an 8. And then we need a 9. Well, a 9 can't go here, and a 9 can't go here. So this is actually the only spot left for a 9. And then what were the 2 numbers we were missing? Is a 3 and a 7. Okay, and then you can also see that if we're looking at this vertically, see how there's 2 right here? There's only 1 number missing here, which is our 9. Okay, and then that helps us here. There's our 9. There's our 3. And the 2 numbers we were missing is a 3 and a 7. That's why I see I would solve this 3 here. So then there's our 3. There's our 7. Okay, so now in this center cube here, we need a 3, okay, but it can't be here, and it can't be here. So there's our 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5. Can't be in the top because of that one. So there's our 5, 6, and we need a 7. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we are just chugging along. Okay, so this 7 right here helps us. One of these 2 is a 7. Well, it has to be this one. Now that one helps to resolve our 5 there. Let me clean up my 7. There we go. So these 4s and 5s line up. So now I can actually tell you what these 2 numbers are, because they're the only 2 numbers that are missing, which looks like a 1 and a 3. And we do have a helpful 1 right here. So there's our 1. There's our 3. Okay, that helps to resolve these fellers here. We'll fix that 3. Okay, so now these 2 numbers we're missing is a 5 and a 6. But I do have a 5 already here, so that one has to be a 6. Has to be a 5. That resolves this as a 6. Okay, now we have 2 numbers missing here. Looks like a 4 and a 5. And I do have a 5 here. So this one becomes the 4. This one becomes the 5. And then the only number left we're missing in this cube looks like a 7. Alright, and now that we have the 5 here, we can resolve these guys. Alright, two numbers that are missing here is a 4 and a 6. And we have a 4 here, so that has to go here, and we have a 6 here, so that has to go here. 6 and a 4. Okay, folks, there you go. We had some ghost rows, ghost columns, and we had double locks. We had a couple double locks. That was really good. And we had a crisscross pattern. So this one had a lot of mixing of techniques and patterns that you need to at least understand and hopefully see to help you with these hards and very hards. The crisscross pattern I don't see in the mediums, but I do see the double locks and the ghost rows for sure in the mediums. So hope you guys had some fun. I always recommend pausing it at the beginning and printing up a couple copies and play along with. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or challenges. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you next time. Bye.